All right. All right, folks, let's get started. Got folks from Hyderabad. I've got folks from just one person from Hyderabad, one person from Pune. And Ankur, are you pretending to be the office rep for Bangalore, or are you just...
I'm wearing the hat of the core team.
Okay. All right. So I think this is going to be a bit of a back and forth, right, between the few of you who are on the call, because the Bangalore reps kind of chickened out at the last moment. No, actually, they're not well, so I shouldn't say that. They'll probably join us on another podcast. But I guess the idea of this is for Raj and Preeti to ask Ankur questions, and then Ankur to answer, and then for me to ask you questions, and for you folks to answer, something like that, right? So how about we get Raj and Preeti to kick off the show? Raj, what's the burning question from Pune?
Yeah. Hey, Ankur, the nation wants to know why we have not shown the 4 other hotels that we have selected, the pics of 4 other hotels.
Okay, so this is Sumit's show, so we'll let Sumit do the talking about that. But we knew that the question is out there, so we have collated a few pictures of the hotels that I want to share right now. So let me share my screen. So Sumit, do I have permission to speak on your show? Because normally in such shows... All right, folks. So this is the inside story on the away day hotels. So, not normally. So far, we have had, the away days, people end up staying at one hotel, maybe maximum 2. But this time our numbers are large. And as we mentioned last time, we are avoiding triple sharing. So we want to have as many twin sharing as possible, which is good news. And that's why we had to identify more than a single hotel. So people will be distributed across the 5 hotels. One is the main venue, which is the Grand Hyatt, and then 4 other hotels. And I'll show you a few pictures, which we pulled out from the website of those hotels. So this is 4 Points by Sheraton. This is one of the hotels. The rooms look nice, pretty decent. And
nice view.
Yeah, with a nice view. Yeah, Kochi is a beautiful place. So a lot of greenery, most of the places, wherever you go. And this is Kochi Marriott. This is again one of the really good hotels in Kochi. And in fact, this is next to the Lulu Mall. So I don't know whether people will have time to go shopping, but it's right next door. And the next one is the Novotel Kochi. This is in the IT Park. Again, very nice hotel. And this is new property, so the rooms are quite new. And we had a good vibe when we were talking to the managers here. The Radisson Blu, again, very nice hotel. In fact, one of the rooms we visited, I don't know, Sumit, if I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but I remember one of the rooms had a massage chair. So I don't know whether we'll get all the rooms with the massage chair, but you might be lucky. You never know. You might have a massage chair in your room. And this is the Grand Hyatt, right? The one which is the main venue. So, yep, fairly nice hotels. Fairly
and that's the convention. Ankur, just go back. That's the convention center you can see outside, right?
Yeah, yep. That's the convention center that you see right behind.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess the point of showing all those images is that all rooms are mostly comparable. Is that right?
Yes. And
not comparable is how far they are.
Yeah. Yeah. So the rooms are comfortable, and the hotels which are far away from the main venue, will definitely have twin sharing. But the ones in Grand Hyatt, some of the rooms may end up deciding triple sharing, but that's still being worked out. And let's now look at the hotels, right? So you have Grand Hyatt. It's on this Bolgati Island, a beautiful island with view of the lakes on both the side. Radisson Blu and Marriott are almost equidistant. So you take around 30-35 minutes from Radisson Blu to Grand Hyatt. Similarly, Marriott to Grand Hyatt, similar distance. Whereas, the other 2 hotels, the Novotel and 4 Points, are in the IT Park. So from there, it's almost an hour, just close to an hour. So a bit of a distance. And we have to plan those logistics to make sure people are boarding the buses and reaching the venue. And then similarly, in the evenings, we're planning to have buses leaving out at various time slots so that people can go back. But these Novotel and 4 Points are brand new hotels. So, and very nice rooms. So I hope that, Raj, does that answer the question that the nation has been asking?
Yeah, that pretty much answers the question. And the rooms are really awesome.
All right.
Okay. Can I add a question to this?
Yes.
So when I went and told folks that, there are 4 different locations and we are going to be heading to one location, there were questions around like, how is that going to happen? And, what if we miss it? Do we have to come by ourselves or something like that? So if you can answer that.
Yeah. So what we will have is, this time the logistics is such that, typically, let's say a flight comes in from Pune or Hyderabad, and based on the time slot and the flight, and a flight would be almost a ThoughtWorks flight, right? So 100 people in a flight, all thought workers. So imagine all the fun going on in the flight. So that entire
Yeah.
flight, once it lands at Kochi, there'll be coaches which will take all those people to one of the hotels.
Okay.
And because we're distributed, we have pre-decided, okay, that this flight would make best sense to go and stay in the hotel because of multiple reasons. For example, a simple reason would be, the day one starts at around 4 p.m. On the Friday. So if a flight lands at 2 p.m., it would make sense for those people to come to Grand Hyatt, because then they don't have time, right? They just reach the
Freshen up.
hotel,
Yeah.
freshen up, and then they are at the main,
Yeah.
right? So those sort of things.
Cool.
Does that answer?
Yes. So more of the points were around, reaching Grand Hyatt from the place they are put in. So if, for example, if they are staying in Radisson and if they have to come to Hyatt, like what will be the logistics around that? What if you miss a coach or if you miss a cab?
Yeah, so we will have coaches identified with proper, numbers put up on the coaches. All those details will be shared. We'll also have volunteers identified for each of the hotels, and these volunteers would maybe wearing a specific T-shirt so that and those details will be shared out. So there will be enough support system that will be available to make sure that people know who to reach out to in case anything happens, in case you overslept, or in case something. Then, and we'll figure out ways. If you miss the bus, then we might have other means to make sure you get to the main venue.
Sure. Yeah, that answers.
Ankur, as you said, it will be all ThoughtWorkers flight. So are we allowed to play Mafia and connect on the plane?
Yes, why not? That's up to the people in the flight. If you have like 100 people sitting together, just make sure you don't miss getting out in Kochi, right? Because many of these flights are Kochi might be a hop.
I'm sure the air hostesses and the stewards are going to have a good time.
Maybe teach them Mafia, who knows?
Since we are talking about the flights, so we have a boiling question from Pune. When are we going to choose the flights? I mean, when are we going to send the email to choose the flights and
+1.
and the roommates?
Yep. So the flights, the email should be coming out today. In fact, Mohan sir and all of us in the core team had been working to finalize that. So it should come out today for sure. And people will get around a week's time to select the flight options. So, yep, just hold on. I think the mail should be out today. Regarding the roommates, this time we won't be able to give you the option to choose your roommates through the tool because of those logistics, right? So you pretty much, the hotel which you stay at is decided based on the flight that you pick, again because of those logistics, right? But so what we would suggest is, if you are very keen that okay, you do want to stay with a particular person and the roommate, then once you get the room key, you can always swap. Because let's say all the Pune group is together staying at a hotel, you know each other. Once you get the keys, just figure it out amongst yourself, right? So that you can always do once you are at the hotel. Does it?
Yes, that answers my question.
Okay, so good hotels, you do not get to choose your roommates for the most part. It's all going to be down to logistics. And it is likely that you would be at one of the other hotels to be prepared for travel. Is that the message, Ankur?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then Preeti, Raj, what else is happening at Hyderabad? So those were questions. Any hot news, any buzz to report from your office?
Definitely. So this time for cultures, we are along with the other dance performances and all. We were planning to conduct a dhol tasha and lejim event, to performance by all thought workers, and we expected around 10 to 15 signups, but that sign-up count has short us big time now because it has gone already beyond 45, and we do not have enough dhol tashas. So we are figuring out, that's a good problem to solve. We're figuring out how can we tackle this problem.
Good. I'm glad. I've heard that earlier we have done a lot of lavnis from the Pune office. So good to hear that something different might happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Ankur, while we are on this conversation, there was a question from Kazi, and I kind of answered it in chat, but it was about when does the event start on Friday? And I thought while we answer that, that starts at 4 o'clock. Do you want to quickly set expectations on when it starts, when it ends, and then when does the next day start, and stuff like that? I also hear a rumor there's probably going to be a dry day somewhere there, so no alcohol. Tell us more about it.
The grapevine of ThoughtWorks is always working 24/7, right? Yeah, so the high level agenda is Friday. The event starts at 4 p.m. and that's again based on the flights that people land. That was the earliest that we could start, and it'll go until almost midnight that day. Again with a bunch of things that we normally happen, and I don't think we're disclosing the agenda yet, but it'll be interesting. There'll be the kickoff thing happening, which we're trying to do, the opening act, which we're trying to do a bit differently. There'll be the MD session, and there'll be a bunch of other sessions, and then party, right? Fun and dance. And that's Friday night till almost midnight. Next day, the idea is to kick off the day two, which is Saturday at 10 a.m. Again, with a bunch of very interesting speakers, some talks from GCG, parallel talks, all that stuff will happen. There'll be the art gallery, like we have done last time, all those things happening in parallel. And till evening, all those sessions will happen. And evening, again, we sort of wrap up the formal agenda and get into the party mode. And people have made a lot of guesses about the performer. Do we want to talk about that?
I've got a poll running on the screen. Let's see how much people know. So we'll keep that poll running for some time.
Hey Sumit, I'm not able to select it.
Yeah. That's because you're a panelist and you probably already know. So
I don't know.
you don't know.
I have guessed it though.
Did you guess it already? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if your guess was right. I've got some votes on the screen. So let's see. We'll give it some time. Let the poll run. We've got a few attendees. We'll reveal it by the end. Okay. So you're saying how long does day one run? Tell me again.
Day one, 4 p.m. to almost 11:30 midnight-ish. Day two starts at 10 a.m. At the main venue, goes on again till midnight and maybe beyond.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that if I party all the way until 11:30, then I should try and sleep on the bus, then get up early if I'm at one of the other hotels, inhale my breakfast, and then come to Marriott. Is that your suggestion?
That's right. So what we are thinking is from the hotels which are far away from the main venue, the buses would probably leave around 9 a.m. just to give them about an hour. So yes, if you're staying at those faraway hotels, I would say plan to have your breakfast before 9 and be ready to board the bus. That's the plan.
Okay.
And about the grapevine about dry day. So day two looks like will be a dry day. That's a Saturday dry day. And that's something that the Kerala government has decided. It's some anniversary for one of their religious leaders, and that's the government's decision. So we can't do anything about it. Neither can the hotel.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but we are planning to have good performers and good stuff happening. So we'll find our ways to keep ourselves engaged and have fun.
Okay, so let me end this poll. So what I realized is I have the ability to stump people, even if the whole answer is really obvious. So let me share the results on the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
So it seems like some people voted for the wrong choices as well. Some people voted for Niti Mohan, Neha Bhasin, whereas 3 people got the right answer, which is Anushka Manchanda. She's our showstopper for day 2.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's one of the ways we keep people engaged and have fun without the, even though it's a dry day.
Yeah. Super performer coming in on the last day. Okay. And so what else, Ankur? Any update on other speakers?
Yeah, so we have a couple of more speakers that we're pursuing. And again, the idea is for them to be able to give a good perspective of things that they have done at scale, or maybe some big, hairy problems that they're trying to solve using technology. I would say let's wait till we get a confirmation from a couple of them. Today I met one of the potential speakers. He seems to be interested. But again, he's asked for a couple of days before he comes back with a confirmation. Today morning, I talked to one of another speaker. She's also asked for a week's time. So I think by end of this week, hopefully we close a couple of more speakers.
Cool. So Preeti, what's happening in Hyderabad, by the way? Do you have anything
Eh,
completely rolled out?
Yeah, we have told Tasha's everything. So since we were talking about music a few minutes ago, so we have this band, musical band for away day from Hyderabad side. So we have decided that we will not restrict it just for away day. It is going to continue even after away day. So yeah, it's going to be a continuous thing. And also for the dance, we had an external choreographer who came to our office and taught us some dance moves. So people are really very enthusiastic about that. It was very interesting to see that, and also to engage all the other people from who are not so enthusiastic about dance. We are going to organize game sessions like TT, caroms, games like these which are played like every day, and people are very passionate about that them in our office. Yeah, and regularly, like every month or so, we have something called game nights, where people from people who are located in client offices come back to ThoughtWorks, and it's a small gathering uh, for those who are not in touch with the office or the office folks. So this time the game night will be focused specifically on a day. So that is what we are planning to do.
Exciting. So no lack of enthusiasm at Hyderabad.
Not at all.
Question from Kazi has all the. I think there was a time when Kazi had all the answers. Where am I going to get staffed?
He's just getting back to the core team, man.
So Kazi has one more question. Actually, two more questions. So his question was: do we go directly to the venue, or do we go to our hotel and then come to the venue?
Yeah. So in most of the cases, you would directly go to your hotel first, and then come to the menu. You'll have the coaches arranged, uh, unless you are coming directly to the main menu, and that would be decided based on the flight timing. So the answer is you go to your hotel, and from there you come to the main menu.
Okay. And just something on food, which I think is probably a given, but I'll ask anyway. So, is there going to be a food survey that goes out to get people's food preferences and allergies and things like that?
Yeah, I think we do that normally. So we'll probably shoot out a survey sometime to just get people's input so that we address some of the things people have already pointed out in the registration form, because we had that option. So some of the things people have already highlighted, but we should be able to do that.
Okay. And then when you get those pieces of information, are you going to label food choices correctly, saying this is halal versus this is gluten free, etc.?
Yeah. So we have had those conversations with the hotel folks, and they know all these things. So we just need to make them. I mean, they are sensitive to these things, so we just need to let them know, and they'll be putting up all those labels around the food so that you know what food you're eating.
Perfect. And I see an email in my inbox today that I can select my flights. So what's the last date? Seems like Friday. So Raj, Preeti, probably you should ensure that anyone who wants choice in their lives and doesn't like waiting in queues to check in should probably do that, like fill up that form ASAP.
Sure.
And folks attending, tell others just so that they know as well.
Sure.
Okay. Any other little piece of news? I hear there's some opportunity to win Amazon vouchers.
Man, all the grapevine. Yes. So we are planning to launch a competition, a social media based competition in the next couple of weeks. And what we're thinking is it'll be a 2-week competition, and there'll be winners and a lot of goodies and maybe stickers, some special collectibles. So we're working through all those details right now. And we'll probably have top 3 winners for the 2-week competition, and those top 3 winners will likely get the Amazon coupons.
Nice.
So
You're
you do
saying
not.
I can make
Sorry.
one social media post and win a lot of money?
Absolutely not, Sumit.
What if it's like a really, really popular, amazing, best social media post on the planet kind of thing?
Yeah, so in that case, yes. So it has to be based on the number of likes, how much social media buzz your post created. All those criteria will be looked into, and then the winners will be identified on the basis of that.
Okay. Hey Preeti, you were saying something.
Yes,
Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what is that competition all about? Or will it be revealed later? Secret?
Yeah, Sumit has already put me on the spot. So yeah, so it'll be we're planning to have a hashtag based competition using Instagram. That's really what we are working towards.
Okay, there's one last question I think that we'll have time for, and Saili has a question from Pune. Do we have shuttles running all the time back to the hotel, or do we have fixed timings in which the shuttles run?
Yeah, so for the main coaches, the bigger buses, those will be fixed times, and those times will be shared with everyone. In case of any emergency needs, and we understand that you may have to go back to your hotel to pick something and all that stuff. All those things on a case by case basis. We are planning to have some smaller shuttles as well.
Okay. All right. Since we still have some people, I'm going to run one more poll, and this is like something I wanted to ask everyone. Let's see. So I wanted to actually check what kind of what kind of sessions do people like on the main stage? Do you like panels or do you like talks? And I have my own preferences. This time I'm going to let the panelists vote. So you vote as well. All right. Let's see. What do you think?
Okay. Just a question from my side. Are we going to have any kind of a group discussion or something?
You mean on the main stage?
It could be held parallelly also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's something Ankur and team are actively thinking about. That's actually one of the reasons why we're asking the question as well, just to get a mood of the nation kind of poll. Of course, this is not representative, but it's good to know what the small group that's attending this podcast also thinks. I'm going to actually close the poll just in the interest of time. And let me share the results. It does seem like an overwhelming majority does talks as against panels. So Ankur, some food for thought. Though representative, just be mindful of.
Yep. No, I think this helps, right? Because one of the things we continue to think in the core team is, how do you engage 1,600 people with few people on the stage, right? And that does give us a good sense of what people would enjoy. Just one other thing, Sumit, I want to add is that, I just want to remind people that we had sent out an email for people to submit their topics for the breakout tracks. Topics have started coming in. Some of them seem to be pretty interesting, but I think there's a lot of interesting stuff that as thought workers, we all do. And many of us also have very strong opinions around certain things. So just a reminder, please continue to submit your topics for the breakout talks. I think we had asked that this Friday be the last day. So just as office reps as well, Raj and Preeti, and for other office reps on the phone, if you can go back to your folks in the office and remind them to continue to submit their topics.
And I see a lot of influential people on this meeting. I see office principals and DPs. So go out there, inspire people. Do remember that whole idea of breakout talks is sessions for the people, by the people, of the people, and replace people with thought workers. That's what it is. So there is, this is probably the safest place to share your ideas. There's going to be a small group and you can get feedback. And if anything goes wrong, it's still ThoughtWorks, right? So there's a lot of people to support you. And by the way, there are going to be track leads who will help you refine your talk, right, Ankur?
Yeah, yep. And we've already started identifying the names of the track leads. So once we have the talks submitted, those will be reviewed, and the track leads will help curate the content. So all that will happen.
Okie dokie. That sounds great.
Sure,
Okay.
Ankur and Sumit will make sure people submit their breakout talks as well as art for good submissions.
Yes, thanks for reminding, Raj. Yep, that is still open, and we continue to get good stuff. But yeah, the more we get, the better.
Yeah. I'm curating the photo gallery, so thanks for the shout out. It'll help to have more photos to choose from. That's always a good problem to have. There's a question. Let's do this as the last question for sure.
Before that, Sumit,
Ankur, when are we getting goodies?
Ah, all right. So the goodies should be coming before the away day. I'm hoping by end of this month or by early September, the goodies would be there, and they would be distributed across all the offices, so that hopefully you can also use some of that stuff when you're at the away day.
Okay. In fact, somebody actually asked, I know about the goodies. Should I reveal it? And we won't reveal it on a podcast. But if you want to spread rumors about it, feel free, because rumors are nice, right?
Yeah.
And let us know as well, because we don't know what are the goodies.
You were asking something?
yeah, I was asking if we could bump up the art for good mail once more.
Yeah, we did a bump up last week
Do
on a Friday email. But I think it'll help from this point on if there are like office level bump ups, people just nudge them. I'm doing that myself.
mm,
Yeah.
So,
From Pune also, we have just nudged people to share their artwork.
okie dokie. In the interest of time, I think I've got to close this podcast. But there's going to be another one on Thursday. So please do join and tell others to join as well. If you have questions and you're watching this after the fact, type in your questions in the YouTube chat, because you'll see this on YouTube. And until next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
bye.